I'm looking forward to this. Season 3 Reloaded. It looks like it's going to be a pretty big update. Pretty big update. Looking forward to getting stuck in. Here we go. Right. So, update time. Call of Duty Warzone Season 3 Reloaded patch notes. The meta is getting shaken up. New ways to move around Caldera. Perks coming to from Vanguard, and more. New Vanguard map bundles, blah blah blah. Don't care about any of that. So, Season 3 Reloaded launch. Here we go. Classified Arms Season 3 Warzone. So we've got our playlist update, and this runs for the next few weeks. I don't know why they've redacted these changes to Rebirth Island here, but hopefully they keep quads just to keep everyone happy. Rolling through. Okay, so Champions of Caldera. This year could arguably be one of the strongest years for solos, with Rebirth Resurgence solos, first place gameplay, blah blah blah. This mode will feature 150 maximum players. Okay, interesting. So this is going to be a Caldera Battle Royale, fight for survival, closing circle. 150 players is pretty big. So that's pretty nuts. Operators would drop in with their custom loadouts, a gas mask, and a single redeploy extraction token. So it looks like this might be a limited time mode. Moving on swiftly. So some gameplay changes coming at ya. Before we jump into many of the outline changes, we want to share a key pillar that we've been focused on for the Season 3 Reloaded. We believe this will help players understand the design intentions behind all the changes. So it's cohesively improved the core Warzone experience and gameplay loop. So each of the changes can be separated into 3 core areas of focus, with all the overall emphasis on improved reasons to loot in the mid-game and creating players' stories. So more counters. There's still some very powerful mechanisms in Warzone, and we need to provide counterplays and countermeasures to each of these gameplay loops for the interesting engagements. So more movement, player rotation opportunities are core to Warzone experience, and we'll see how much our players love advanced movement techniques. So this can be new things like the balloons, etc. More gameplay time. So simply put, more time playing, less time spectating. So this is a big problem that I actually have with Caldera, especially with the limited time that I get to play. Caldera, for me, or the big main Battle Royale experience, really there's too much time spectating and waiting if you mess it up. Warzone's always been the leader in second chance mechanism, i.e. the Gulag. So we're going to further develop this in aspect of Warzone, successful mid to late game regains. We fully expect this update to have considerable impact on how players experience Warzone. Excited to see how the stories emerge. So counterplay. One of the new counterplay mechanisms that they have added is the Serpentine perk. This Serpentine perk is essentially it's going to reduce incoming damage if the player is sprinting. So this is going to change up a lot of different things if you're crossing big open areas or you're running into engagements. This will essentially help you with sprint to fire time, but also stop you getting deleted at long ranges. It's an interesting one, and we'll definitely have to see how this plays out. It's a very contentious perk that's being added, so interested to see. Lootable perks for all maps and modes. So this is going to include Rebirth Island, so that's interesting. We haven't seen the lootable perks on Rebirth yet, so we will see those now based on this. So that's Serpentine, Tune-Up, Tracker, Hardline, Kill Chain and EOD. Been really happy with how the response to the perks actuals, and we're now adding them to Rebirth Island as well. So that's pretty cool. New field upgrade, Radar Jammer. So players, it's like a deployable upgrade, a bit like the PDS. It's going to essentially scramble the players' TAC maps if they're within a certain area. Effective radius of 125 meters. This effect lasts 45 seconds. New lootable loadout drop markers in Caldera modes. Okay, interesting. So rather than having to just buy a loadout, there will be lootable loadout markers. So this is really interesting. Once players been to the Gulag, It can be challenging to get back into the game. So we wanted to give players the rare chance of striking it lucky and finding a way to counter a previous loss. So that's pretty interesting. Movement. So high value loot zones in the Caldera modes. These zones are represented by the tac map. They have a $sign, and basically if you land there, you've got more chance of getting yourself some money together, essentially. So that's pretty interesting. Warzone, new underground transit system. So people have feared that this was going to be a bit like the Verdansk train system or the metro system. This is a new fast travel system with 14 access points indicated on the tap map by a silver vault door symbol. This has a lighting system as well, which provide intel and help players navigate and make better decisions. So this is the map. This is where they're going to be available in Caldera. And there is this lighting system which essentially helps you select how busy and how hectic these areas are and whether or not they're just going to end up dying, essentially. I think that's a red, green, blue, red, green, amber kind of system. New lootable speed boost power up in Caldera. This grants a considerable increase to movement speed. Again, this is probably something that's going to help you get across the map. New occupation scan public event. This is Rebirth Island mode, accept blood money and payload. So this is a public event. This is a bit like a fire sale or the resurgence ones. What's it called? Jailbreak. Any player standing or crouching while the scan takes place will have their location exposed on the tac map. So this is a counter for campers on Rebirth. So this is pretty cool. I like this. Players will be informed to go prone prior to the sweep. Hold on, standing or crouching. Okay, so you basically want to camp. This is weird. Okay, interesting. We'll have to see how that plays out. Movement represents an opportunity for memorable engagements and encounters. Operation Scan, we want to develop a public event where movement or lack of thereof is in the core experience. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Stim adjustments, right, so this is something big. I did read this briefly earlier on Twitter. So the slide modifier has been reduced. So this is when you're stimming, you get that extra long slide. So that's been reduced and has basically been nerfed. Added weapon damage received interruption effect. So if you're stimming and you're getting shot, this will cancel the stim. So they've essentially nerfed stims into the ground, which is really good. This was not the intention of the tool. So the intention was not that you could get away and get shot loads of times. This was to essentially allow you to bring back if you're still in cover. So that's pretty cool. I like this. This is going to be my thumbnail for tonight. Okay, we've had some playtime upgrades. So new lootable Gulag token system. So essentially this is a Gulag entry system. So if you have the token, you're on Caldera, it's going to essentially give you another try, basically, at getting the Gulag. So rather than having your the one chance to use the Gulag, if you find a token after you've been to the Gulag, then you get another chance. The lootable redeploy extraction, this is very similar, but will basically just redeploy you straight away, so you don't have to even bother with the Gulag. That's pretty cool. These sorts of things are things that might get me playing Caldera more, which will speed up the pace. So I'm definitely interested to see how these things play out. Increased lootable self-revive perk. So this self-revive is going to be less rare in the Caldera modes. Player count adjustments. So the total player count per match has been reduced to 120. So it's down from 154, is it? Or 150? So again, see how that plays out. It might make things a little slower on Caldera, but doesn't bother me too much. Don't play it at the moment. So increased down movement speed. So when you're down, they've increased the speed at which you can move in the down state. So this is when you're crawling around, so you can get into cover more safely. This is all maps and modes, so that's pretty cool. Decreased buyback cost, all maps and mode. Okay, so the buybacks are now $3,000 rather than $4,000. That is pretty interesting. So it's often a lot to get 12 grand together to buy back a full quad squad. So that's now down to 9,000. So that's pretty cool. Like to see that. Death tax adjustments, all modes except plunder. So adjusted the tax upon death from 80-20 to 50-50. Interesting. So when you die, you'll now lose more money. Interesting. Actually, no, sorry, less money. That's pretty cool. So you come back with more cash. 50-50 split. I think that's fair. That's fair. Next up are the quality life improvements. Let's see if we can open this up a bit bigger. No, we can't. So this is an update to the HUD. So this will now essentially give you better opportunity to understand what your squad mates have. So this is really cool. You're going to see airstrike, gas mask, self-revive situations. So yeah, the HUD has been updated. You can see your total squad cash, which is really cool. So you're basically not going to have to do that quick maths situation. I will answer chat messages at the end of this patch notes, so stick on in there. I will let you know. Total squad cash, armor plates for each squad member. So no one can hold out on you anymore. If they've got plates and they're not giving them to you, you'll find out. Whether they possess kill streak, self revive, key card, gas mask, gulag entry token, and redeploy extraction token. That's really cool. Another massive update is improved audio. I've been waiting for this one. So this is footstep audio. The team has completed reprioritization of NPC footstep audio, crucial to gameplay. Okay. Ranged weapon melee damage reduced. Oh, thank God. Thank God they've reduced this. This was absolutely disgusting. Gun butting now requires 4 successive hits to eliminate, up from 3. Thank God from that. Pistol requires 4 on a target with a full 250 health. We'll come back to this 250 health very shortly. Very shortly. Slide camera lock. We've addressed the horizontal camera locking. Occasionally happen if players slide when navigating ropes and stairs. Okay, that's pretty cool. To see how that plays out. Incoming kill streak, banner warning. So we've moved it up. It appear below the reticle, so it doesn't obstruct your vision. So that's another good quality of life update. Menu browsing interruptions. Players no longer be brought back to the front of the end of the lobby. Requiring keys matchmaking. Okay, sweet. That's great. That's absolutely great. That's going to allow things. That's going to make things a lot nicer, speedier. Buyback player prioritization. So the buy station interface will now prioritize squad members by listing them first, dead squad members. So you don't have to mess around picking which one. So you can get into the buy station, especially if you're on controller. You can go bang, 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 and buy those guys back. So that's really cool. Weapon trade station updates. Perk satchels added to epic legendary. The ghost perk adjustment. So reduce player movement speed threshold. So that means the perk was nerfed and means you have to be moving, but that movement speed was really slow. So you could actually get away with creeping around and not appear on the radar. So that's now been adjusted. That's a really big one. Spawn protection value is adjusted. There will take 25% reduced damage. Okay, interesting. Armored trucks. Other adjustments. So lethals, frag grenade damage increased by 25%. Okay, frags are now back to being the OP. Lethal. Throwing knife damage increased by another 20%. Hits in the upper torso and head will one shot down. Jesus. Okay, maybe not. Claymore also increased by 20%. These guys. This update will make more sense very soon when we get to the next one, which I think is coming up. Health increase. So this is all maps and modes except Iron Trials. Rebirth Island is essentially now getting a total of 300 health, factoring in plates. So the core health has now been updated from 100 to 150. Interesting. Ground loot. So this is the reason why I say Rebirth's ruined, because this will significantly change how Rebirth is played. So maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing. Let me know in the chat or in the comments what you think about this change. Ground loot, all maps and modes, so accommodate new weapons and builds. We've updated the ground loot. The gulag loadouts have been refreshed in the gulag as well. So that's pretty much it for the fixes. Again, get your questions in. One of the big ones is that one of the big bug fixes is that 120Hz is now back on Series X consoles. So this is a huge one. Huge one. This has basically been broken since the launch of Vanguard. So that's amazing to see. Shame I don't play on Xbox anymore. Fixed an issue that caused the crashing of the client. Sliding players to get stuck in the buy station, that's fixed as well. Loadout menu to appear randomly during a match, causing the well gun. Okay, interesting. Calling cards, just a bunch of fixes here. Just kind of scanning through to see if anything too serious. Nothing too serious I can see. But that's pretty good. You can also just remember they have a Trello board, which is here. It's linked on in the video description. You can check out all the issues that they're working on currently. I think last up is weapons. So we've been waiting for this weapon adjustment. The STG has been pretty hardcore, so I'm hoping in here that it's been adjusted. We do, however, have a brand new SMG. This SMG is the Bilnex SMG. So it's a hard-hitting SMG offering mobility and accuracy. To unlock this, you will need 3 slide kills in a single match 15 times. Now that's fucking brutal if you ask me. That's pretty brutal. I believe though, if you've got Modern Warfare, you can do this and leave a match. I will test it out before the stream tonight, so make sure you subscribe, come back to the stream, I'll let you know if this works. I will try and get that sorted. So weapon adjustments, assault rifles, Black Ops Cold War. AK has had a little nerf. They've increased the recoil also. The AS-44 initial recoil is adjusted slightly. Bullet velocity increased, so that's a little buff. Has a functioning on-hand perk as well. So assault rifle Charlie, I believe this is the STG. Headshot damage multiplier. Is that right? Is that the STG? Has increased from. Okay, so it looks like it's had a bit of a buff. If that is the STG. Which is concerning, although the fire rate has been decreased here, so we'll have to see how that one plays out. Cooper Carbine has had the bullet velocity increased by 4. Maybe this will be less of an issue now that the health has been updated to 300 rather than 250. The C58 had a little nerf. AMAX had a little nerf. Farah had a little nerf. Nikita recoil pattern has been buffed slightly. Sprint fire time has been nerfed slightly. A sight rifle Bravo. A little bit of a buff there. The NZ41 looks like it's had a bit of a buff. The Vargo minimum headshot damage increased up to 24, so that's had a little bit of a buff as well. The Volk, another buff for the Volk, so this could be very viable. The Volk, it's already quite viable, but it's had its movement speed reduced to 25, down from 30%, so this is probably what was making the Volk more viable close quarters, so maybe not. Black Ops Cold War XM4 damage decreased, so that's had a little nerf. See if that still packs a punch, possibly not. So marksman rifles, not too interested in those, but you can see the adjustments there. HDR bullet drop off increased, so that's good to see. Damage range decreased, also good to see. So they're basically adjusting some of the sniper rifles since that one shot marksman nerf in the beginning of season 3. Same with all of these sniper rifles here. Not too interested in those. Vanguard Kar 98 shotgun, so they've finally nerfed all the shotguns, so that's very nice to see. With the change to the health pools, automatic semi-auto shotguns, we're hitting breaking point. Time to kill, it's been altered. Lovely, very good stuff. SMGs, here we go. The category that I'm most fond of. So Milano, damage range has been decreased, thank God for that. Mid damage added, so that's a secondary or a third damage drop off in the mid range. Minimum damage decreased also. The Lapper has been nerfed slightly, range increased, damage decreased. So that's a bit of a balance. OTS, max damage decreased, down from 30. Armor Guerrera, slight initial recoil reduction, so that could make it slightly more viable, although it's a very viable gun at the moment. Seeing some good decreases to the Owen gun here, love to see that. Fire rates, damage multipliers, all the rest of it, so that's really cool, really good to see. Submachine Gun Alpha had a little nerf. The Well gun has added a new perk, and the fire rate for the short barrel has been decreased. That's a pretty heavy nerf, but the removed damage penalty, the range penalty, so interesting. Pistols have also had a slight adjustment, as I'm sure we were probably expecting. These are probably all buffs because of the initial health increase. This is a buff to kind of combat that. A little bit of a nerf to the Panzerfaust, probably not enough though. Attachments, so this here, MX Silencer, bullet velocity increase up from 10%, so this will this is going to combat some of the earlier nerfs, as the MX Silencer is used quite heavily across a lot of the guns in the meta loadouts. Rose, okay, nice. We've had a 70% adjustment to the increase in brightness of the infamous Rose outfit. So basically Rose has been brightened up again. That's pretty nice to see. Yeah, so all in all, pretty exciting, good changes. I think they hit the nail on the head. Excited to see how these play out. Download sizes, if your PlayStation will be 5 GB, pretty much all the way through, 5 GB. If you have PC and you're running Modern Warfare as well, it will be 6 GB. So this update goes live in 15 minutes, and that's 5 PM British Summer Time. I think that's 10, 11 AM PST. So in about 15 minutes. If you're checking this live, drop any comments in the chat now and I'll answer them. If not, stick them in the comments and I will get to them ASAP. There's 6 of you in here, so drop them in now, guys. Otherwise, I'm going to end this, put it up as a VOD, and hopefully we will see you in the stream. Be streaming around 8 PM, 7 or 8 PM UK time, so British Summer Time. Hope to see you all then. It's going to be a pleasure. And subscribe if you're new, because it helps me out. Drop a like on the video, get it out there. I'm doing my best to be there for you guys. I'm always streaming these as they come out so you can get the information up to date as quick as possible. Thanks for all the support anyway, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace out.